My name is Olivia. I am 36 years old. I live in a quiet town with my husband, Michael. He is 50 years old. We have been married for 15 years. Our house is small but warm. There is a little garden in front. I like to plant flowers there. Roses and tulips bloom in the spring. The sun shines and birds sing. It feels peaceful. Michael works in a tall office building. He leaves home at 7 o'clock every morning. He wears a dark suit and carries his black briefcase. He always says, "I will be home by 6 p.m." But sometimes he comes home late. I stay at home. I clean the house, wash the clothes, and cook dinner. I help our son, Leo, with his homework. He is 10 years old. He likes to draw animals. Sometimes we draw together. Leo laughs and says, "Mom, you draw funny lions." I laugh with him. These little moments make me happy. At night, we sit at the table. We eat together. Michael talks about his work. He says today was very busy. There were many meetings. Leo tells us about school. We played football today. Mom, I scored 2 goals. I smile and say, "That's great, Leo." But slowly things started to change. Michael came home later and later. He looked tired and didn't smile much. When I asked, "How was your day?" he only said it was fine. Then he went to his study room. He closed the door and stayed there for hours. One day I wanted to surprise him with a nice dinner. I cooked his favorite food, chicken with rice and fresh salad. I put candles on the table. It looked beautiful. I waited and waited. The clock showed 8 p.m., then 9 p.m. Michael did not come home. Finally, at 10 p.m., he arrived. He looked surprised to see the table. He said, "Oh, I had to work late." I smiled and said, "That's okay. Let's eat." But he only ate a little. He said, "I'm not very hungry." I felt something was wrong. My heart felt heavy. Why was he so distant? Why didn't he want to talk? I asked myself these questions every night. One morning, while I was cleaning the living room, I saw his phone on the table. A message popped up. It said, "I miss you." My hands started to shake. Who sent this message? I didn't know what to think. When Michael came home that evening, I tried to stay calm. After dinner, I asked softly, "Michael, who is sending you these messages?" He frowned and said, "Don't ask silly questions. You worry too much." His voice was cold. I did not want to make him angry, but inside I felt lost. What should I do? Should I believe him? Should I ask again? I was afraid. That night I could not sleep. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. My mind was full of worry. What if he is seeing someone else? Do I have the right to check his phone? Should I trust my feelings? I thought about Leo. How will this hurt him? He loves his father very much. I whispered, "Please, God, help me." Tears ran down my face. The night was very long. The next morning I tried to act normal. I made breakfast and packed Leo's lunchbox. He smiled and said, "Mom, you are the best." I smiled back, but my heart was still heavy. I did not know what was coming, but I knew something was not right. My happy family was starting to break, and I was very scared. The days became heavier. Michael often came home very late. Sometimes it was midnight when he arrived. He always said there was too much work, but I started to see the truth. His smile was gone. His eyes looked empty. He did not touch his food. He did not sit with Leo to help with homework. He only stayed in his study or went out. One rainy evening, I saw him leave the house quickly. He did not tell me where he was going. I stood by the window, watching his car disappear into the night. My heart was full of fear. Where did he go? Who was he meeting? My mind could not stop thinking. I tried to stay calm for Leo. Every morning I made his breakfast and kissed his forehead. "Have a good day, my boy," I said. He smiled, but he was also worried. "Mom, where is Dad?" he asked sometimes. I smiled and said, "He is working, my love." But I knew I was lying. One day, while I was doing laundry, I found a small paper in his jacket pocket. It was a receipt from a fancy hotel restaurant. The date was last Friday. My hands started to shake. I sat down and cried. What should I do now? That evening, my best friend Mia called me. She asked, "How are you, Olivia?" I could not hold my tears. I told her everything. She listened and said softly, "You are strong. You can live without him. But you need to make a plan." I felt scared. I did not have a job. Michael paid for everything. I asked myself, can I do this alone? How will I take care of Leo? My heart said no, but my mind knew I might have no choice. Later that week, Michael came home looking serious. He did not say much during dinner. After Leo went to bed, he sat down and said, "Olivia, we need to talk." I held my breath. My hands started to sweat. "What is it?" I asked. He looked away and said, "I don't love you anymore. I want to leave." His words hit me like a knife. My eyes filled with tears. I whispered, "Why, after all these years, what did I do?" He answered, "It's not you. I need something different." Leo heard our voices and ran into the room. "Dad, please don't leave us." He cried and hugged me tightly. Michael stood up, picked up his bags, and said nothing more. He walked to the door. "I will come for my things later," he said before leaving. The door closed. The house became quiet. The only sound was Leo crying in my arms. My world was falling apart, but I had to stay strong for my son. The next morning I woke up early. Michael's side of the bed was empty. I sat by the window with my coffee. Tears fell down my face as I looked outside. The sky was gray, just like my heart. Leo woke up and came to me. He hugged me tightly and said, "Mom, we will be okay. We still have each other." His words gave me strength. I wiped my tears and kissed his forehead. "Yes, Leo, we will be okay." The days were not easy. There were bills to pay, food to buy, and many worries. I did not have a job yet. I asked myself, where can I work? What can I do? I went to many shops and offices. Some people said, "Sorry, we do not need help." Others said, "You have no experience," but I did not give up. I knew I must find a way. One day I saw a small bakery with a sign, "Help Wanted." I went inside and spoke to the owner, Mrs. Parker. She was kind. "Do you know how to bake?" she asked. I smiled and said, "I bake at home for my son. I can learn more." She thought for a moment and said, "Let's try. You can start tomorrow." I was so happy. I ran home and told Leo. He smiled and hugged me. Mom, you can do it. Every morning I woke up early, made breakfast for Leo, and went to work. I learned how to bake bread, cakes, and cookies. My hands were tired, but my heart was full. There was hope again. After school, Leo came to the bakery. He sat at a small table and did his homework. Sometimes he helped me wipe the tables. We smiled and laughed together. The bakery became a happy place for both of us. Weeks turned into months. I became better at my job. Mrs. Parker said, "Olivia, you are doing great. Customers like your cakes." At home, Leo's smile returned. He made new friends. He played outside and laughed again. I felt proud of him. One sunny afternoon, Leo said, "Mom, you are my hero. You never gave up." I hugged him and said, "We are strong together. Life can be hard, but we can always find a way." That night, as I sat by the window, I looked at the stars. My heart still missed Michael, but I knew I was healing. I whispered, "Thank you for my son, for this new beginning." Even when life brings pain, there can be light. Every ending is a chance to start again, and together we will keep walking forward.